and a blame game has erupted within the Nationals over the seat of Eden Monaro, and it's not pretty.
John Barilaro, the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, has sent an explosive text message last night to the Deputy Prime Minister, Michael McCormack, Kieran, in which he blames him for Mr Barilaro deciding not to run for the seat, saying he never showed enthusiasm for him to run. Let's have a look at it. He says, "Michael, please do not contact me. Your lack of public enthusiasm or support for my candidacy went a long way to my final decision. Don't hide behind the members will choose the candidate rubbish, as you were the only one saying such lines. Don't you think my branches would have backed me in? To feel threatened by me clearly shows you have failed your team and failed as a leader. You will never be acknowledged by me as our leader. You aren't. You never will be. The Nats had a chance to create history, to change momentum, and you had a candidate that was prepared to risk everything to make it happen. What did you risk? Nothing. Hope you are proud of yourself." As we heard earlier, Andrew Constance instead becomes the favourite to win the seat, running for the Liberals. One of the key points of contention for John Barilaro was that McCormack telephoned Sophie Wade, the former candidate for the seat who gained just 7% of the vote at last year's election, about her interest in running for the seat before he telephoned Barilaro last Tuesday, even though reports on Sky News and elsewhere said Barilaro was clearly interested. Then when Mr McCormack telephoned Barilaro, he did not press him to run, Kieran.
And Andrew, it's not just Michael McCormack in John Barilaro's sights, is it? He also believes that Andrew Constance reneged on a deal with him.
It was the lack of Mr McCormack's support and Constance reneging on standing aside for Barilaro that governed his decision not to run for the seat, according to Barilaro's version of events. For the Deputy PM's part, he makes the point that Barilaro was out front-running in the media before even telephoning him to ask for his support. It all began on Sunday, when on Sunday Agenda last week, Kieran, we revealed that Mike Kelly was about to make a possible retirement announcement and reported Barilaro was considering running. The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, telephoned the Deputy Prime Minister that day, I understand, in a conversation where Mr Morrison made it clear that the Liberals would be running in the seat. Mr McCormack said the Nationals would run and it would be a three-cornered contest. Thursday, Mike Kelly announces his retirement, and Andrew Constance that day gives assurances to Barilaro that if Barilaro announced he would withdraw. In subsequent days, Constance did not repeat that assurance to Barilaro. Messages were passed through intermediaries from the PM to Mr Constance saying he would have no problem with him running. Mr Constance then began lobbying Liberals on his behalf. Mr Barilaro indicated again to reporters he would run, but Mr McCormack was less effusive in media interviews about Barilaro running. Yesterday, Barilaro pulled out and Andrew Constance told Premier Gladys Berejiklian he was going for it. I spoke at length to the Deputy PM this morning where he insisted he had always been supportive of Mr Barilaro's bid and ultimately said it was up to Barilaro whether or not he would run. Mr McCormack said to me, "I've never done anything but provide support for John Barilaro. He's been great for regional New South Wales. I gave him fulsome support. I still did say the local branches would have to endorse him. I've never given away the autonomy of local branches. If anyone thinks anything else, they're wrong." Mr McCormack, I asked him about the Barilaro text. He said he did not discuss private messages or believe they should be released, Kieran. Quite a stoush here.